My junior year of college in the spring, I spent a semester in Paris studying abroad. And I decided to go to Paris because I speak French, and I was an art history major in college, and those things combined seemed perfect for me. So there's amazing amounts of art in Paris. And it's someplace I had been before, but really wanted to live in a city. I went to college in a small town in Maine. So my experience in Paris was one of the best things I've ever done, hands down. I mean, it was really, I'm from New York, but it was really the first, I'm from the suburbs of the city, and it was really the first time I had lived on my own in a city. And I felt like I really got to know Paris, this foreign city. It felt like my city by the end of the time that I was there. And so I think there was an incredible amount of personal growth and academic growth as well. I mean, that was the first time as an adult that I was able to learn directly from artwork. Every single day, a lot of my art history classes that I took in Paris met at museums. And so I remember a final project of ours was you could pick one work in the Musée d'Orsay, and you just had to look at it and, visit it a few times and study, research it, and then just present it to the class. That was the assignment. And it was amazing. It was this opportunity to have ownership over something, this real live work of art in this, exotic location. And that was, I think, that really sort of cemented my interest in working in a museum. I think personally, when you're in the second half of college, you're definitely starting to think about what am I going to do after. And this was a great experience to sort of test out living on your own. I lived with a French family who I had never met before. And, I was on my own for a lot of it. I was part of an American program. And so I had my classes with American students, but I also took a class at a French university. So it was this really nice transition, I think, this preparation to get ready for life in the real world, and especially in a foreign city, it challenges you. You have to speak the language, and you have to try really hard. You make mistakes, and you come off sounding like an American speaking French, but you get better at it. And by the time that it was June and I was getting ready to leave, I felt like there's a little bit of a Parisian in me, I suppose, and I'll always have that, which I love. It also afforded me the opportunity to travel to places, a lot of different places in Europe. And I had been to some, but some never before. And again, that is it's just amazing to see, and especially for an art lover to go with a mission in every city to see these works that I'd only seen in textbooks and I'd studied and I'd wrote papers on, but I finally saw them in person, and that experience was so great. And I think growing up, being so focused on school and academics and kind of being in school for 15 years, it was a really nice break. I was still in school. I was, getting credit, but it was so much more about doing what I wanted to do and what I was really passionate about. And I think that really sort of geared me up for senior year, the last year of college, and made me all the more ready to sort of make decisions about what I ultimately wanted to do after graduation. So the painting that I spoke about at the Musée d'Orsay was The Snake Charmer. It's by Henri Rousseau, who's a French artist. We actually have some of his work in MoMA's collection. And this artist it's an interesting story because this is a person that never left France. And this artist painted these very exotic jungle scenes. And you wondered, where would he ever have seen a jungle or heard about a jungle if he never left France? And so it's exciting to think that a lot of this, yes, it came from, reading, but it also came from his imagination. These scenes that are so far from anything he's ever seen or experienced. And so this particular painting is this figure, sort of a dark figure. You can't really make out his face, but he's playing an instrument, and there's a snake in the back, and he's in this jungle setting. You're not really sure where you are. And there are sort of animals sort of peeking out, hiding in the background. And it's something that maybe I wouldn't have noticed if I had been visiting the museum only once, but looking at it constantly and learning about it made me feel like I had this little relationship with it. And I'll never forget that experience. And I'll never forget the experience of speaking about it and analyzing it and presenting it to my classmates in French. That was certainly, it's hard enough to do it in English. That was certainly a challenge. But yeah, what a great assignment. I loved that.